Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant. Brothers and sisters, critical analytics. We're going to do a little more war talk today. More war talk. Because we're at war, brothers and sisters. Make no mistake. We've been at war for the last 500 years since they attacked us 465 years ago. They attacked us for no reason. A brutal attack. They attacked our entire nation 465 years ago. A full-blown attack. They declared war on us in every respect. Total war. Mental, economical, physical, social, you name it. In every aspect of our existence, they declared war on us to destroy us, to eradicate us in every way. You say, oh, well, we're still alive. No, they eradicated us. See, because we didn't know who we were. That means you were eradicated. See, you weren't eradicated physically, but in a way you was eradicated physically too, because all your energy they had taken, so you had no control of your energy. So you technically didn't exist. See? Because you had no control of anything. Nothing. No, even of your own mind. That went on for over 400 years. And it still persists today. Because our people still don't know who they are. They have no control of themselves. They act other than themselves because they don't know who they are. They're puppets on a string. And they don't realize it. And that's what we see. We see our people, puppets on a string. See? And we see the demons. See? Our image. See, they present us to the world as other than who we are. See, they're all over the world with our image. See, and that's not who we are. And then we have those that have stolen our identity, our true identity. See, we have some idea. If we look at them, we have some idea who we really are, because they have stolen our identity, identity theft. That's false to Israel. I stole our identity theft. I mean, they stole our identity theft. See. So he has some idea about our land because we have the Sunni Arabs, right? They've stolen our land. So we can look around and see who we were and what we are, and those around us who have declared war on us as divide us up as spoil. See? The demons walking around with that image. False reals walking around with our identity. So the Arabs are walking around with our land. See? And the Europeans, Christians, are walking around with our energy. They have total control of our energy. They have committed total war on us, and some of us is going over to their side. See, what you do with traitors? What does any nation do with traitors? See? But that's what's happening right now. We're in a concentration camp. And we don't realize we're in a concentration camp. See, we're under their control. And we do what they say, or they kill us or put us in prison. So how in the hell are we free? If we act according to our nature, which we don't even know what our nature is, but we still have a nature. They can't take your nature away. They can actually have you working against your nature, but you can't take a lion's nature away from it. You can have it act against its nature, but its nature's still there. And left alone a certain amount of time, that nature's going to reimpose itself. See? It's going to reassert itself. And that's what they would never let happen, because they're going to make sure that your nature never reasserts itself. See, because they're going to make sure you keep it weak. They're going to take abort all your children, keep your numbers down. See, and they're going to watch you carefully. And anytime any sign of your nature reasserting itself, they kill it. Just like they try to snuff Elijah Muhammad out. Total war. See, so now it's time for us to fight back. See, now it's time to come, the day of battle. Your God is standing for you. See, because they have declared war against us, but they also declared war against the God of war. The God of war is present, and his high priest is present. See, the God of war. See, and he's sending his ambassador out to warn the nations. See, and to remind us of who we are. See, that's Elijah Muhammad. I tell him to let the world know that the God of war is on the scene now. You want war, now you're dealing with the God of war. See, he come to rescue the prey from the mighty. We're the prey. Make no mistake, we are the prey. When the scriptures talk about gold and silver, they're talking about mental. They're talking about us. We're the gold and we're the silver. Because it says once the gold and silver, right, was removed from Egypt, Egypt was plundered because it had no more wealth. And where did the gold and silver come from? The people had it. And that's who have us. People have us. We're the gold and the silver. And Master Muhammad's come to claim his treasure. We his treasure. They've stolen his treasure. And he's come to reclaim his treasure. And he sent an ambassador to remind us in the war in the world. And they better back up because the God of war is on the scene now. Master Farad Muhammad is his name. He neither sleeps nor slumber. That's what's going on, brothers and sisters. War talk. And I talk about this often, about these gears. And that's a perfect analogy of what's going on in the world. Because right now, the world's a gear train. We all are connected. See? But a gear train can only work in one direction. If you got two engines, right, then you lock it up. Because they're going to fight for control of what direction the gears are going to turn in. See? And if they're both equal power, it'll lock up the whole gear train. See? But if one is greater than the other one, then it's going to slow it down to the degree of the difference between the two. See? But you're going to have a conflict. See? Because you got two different engines, you got two master gears working against each other. One on one side in the east and one on one side in the west. And this gear train, right, this is the last iteration of Adam, the last 500 years. But it came at the point, right, this last, right, situation began in 1948 when we was at the end of energy deprivation. Energy deprivation ended officially in 1948 because as it says, that's when Suleiman would be born. It says when Jesus was born, that was the end of that civilization. That was the official day, the end of that civilization. And it was heralded by a star that would rise in the east. So the star rose in the east, that means he had to be in the west. If you look over that star in the east, that means you must be in the west to say it's in the east, right? Because if you was in the east, you'll be saying, oh, it's up above me or it's in the west. So he had to be in the east, in the west, to say the star rose in the east. And the star rose in 1948, and that's called Antichrist because the Suleiman will be called the Christ. That's why Antichrist, because when energy deposition is zero, that means that's the balancing point is zero. So anything that's born at that point in time, right, if its balancing point is zero, then if you're born 100, then you're going to create a negative 100 to balance it out. That's why I call him the Antichrist. And then you know how powerful the positive is by how powerful the negative is. Because if he's 1,000, the negative is going to be 1,000. So if it took a million or 10 million or 100 million or 10 million or whatever, right, Antichrist came into existence at the same time that he came into existence, that means that's how powerful he is. Because like I said, if you come in as 100, then your anti could be 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25, 425. It'd be 4 people. Or it could be 101 people. Or it could be 10 people. You see? Or it could be 25 people and 5 10 people. See? But in this case, right, if it's a million, then he might have, right, a million 1 people. See? Or 500,000 2 people. Or 100,000 10 people. That's the way it works. That's the mathematics of it. That's why I use the language Antichrist. See? But since the universe is contracting, that means the energy point moves from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3. When it moves to 1, right, that means if the Antichrist is, if both of them is 100, and moves to 1, that means that the Christ moves to 101, and the Antichrist moves to 99, because he's getting weaker. If it moves to 2, it means the Christ moves 102, and the Christ moves 98. So as more energy increases, the Antichrist is getting weaker, and the Christ is getting stronger. If the universe was expanding at that point, it would be the opposite. But now, since contracting is in favor of the Christ, and so therefore the Antichrist is getting weaker and weaker and weaker, until the point it gets to 100, and he has no power at all. That's the way it works. That's the mathematics of it. See? So the thing is that you have the two opposing master gears. And that's one of the signs of Suleiman, that he would be the same age, he'd be conceived at the same time as that. And you can go and check. So if you want to go find a person, go find a group of people that's conceived at the same time as 1948. So you narrow it down to that. If they wasn't in that bulb, in that figure, they're not the real thing. Because a star, they tell you, a star would rise in the east to herald his existence. That's just one sign. Then he would break the 7 seals. That's a second sign. See? He'd be a follower of John or Elijah. That's a third sign. And we can go on and on and on. See? So that's how you would know. See? You can't make up these signs. See? You can't make up the point when you was born, when you was conceived. Right? You only one person can break the unbreakable seals. Those are 2 signs that you just can't play with. They either exist or they don't. Anyway, so you got these 2 master gears, and they're opposing each other. Okay? That's the last, right, iteration, right? I guess the power center, I guess, or if you say Dr. Yaqub's great, because he said Dr. Yaqub's, he would remain in power until someone could come who had greater pressure, because everything is pressure. Your thoughts are pressure. Thoughts are force. It takes force to move things. Nothing moves our force. That means your thoughts are pressure. Your pressure is greater than the pressure of the universe. That means that's why we make our own cream of the planet, God of the universe. Because our brains have more pressure than the universe has. Because it took the compressed power of the universe, the whole universe compressed to produce our brain. So therefore our brain is equal to the power of the total compressed universe. I'm not going into details about that, but the point is that this whole society, this whole vision, this whole world we live in right now, right, is based on thought. It came from thought pressure. And that pressure would exist, it would remain control until someone with greater pressure come and blow it away. Because greater pressure blows away weaker pressure. Greater thought blows away weaker thought. So Yaqub's creation would stay in power until someone came with more powerful thought to blow away their thought. More powerful vision to blow away their vision. A more powerful revelation to blow away their revelation. And that's the angel, because that book would only, that's another sign, because he would have, once that book is a bomb, that's called an atom bomb, ATTOM, right? That's once ignited, it will blow away. See, this whole vision is blown away. See? Just like this vision blew away the Islamic Empire. Islamic Empire, the Quran blew away the previous book. See, the Old Testament based on Catholicism, non-mathematical, and the Quran blew it away for 1,000 years. It blew it away for 1,000 years. Locked them up in jail for 1,000 years. And then they took, right, the Old Testament, right, the Christian version. Now, see, that's why lessons say Christianity is 551 years old. Because Catholicism wasn't Christianity. This is something different. It's got mathematics mixed up with it. And it blew away the Quran for the last 500 years. It blew it away. Quran has no effect on it. You have to understand how things work. These scriptures are bombs. See? They blow away previous realities. See? So you got these bombs going off, right? See? The old sealed Bible, Prophet Jesus gave, right? Boom, the sealed Bible was within it. Blow away the Roman Empire. Just blow away. The greatest empire, right? The greatest so-called power on the earth at that time, at least in the eastern hemisphere. Just blew it away. And then came the Quran and blew that away. Bam, just blew it away. And then came the Christian Bible, not the Catholicism Bible, the Christian Bible, right? And it blew away the Quran. I mean, you always have these people, they're trying to restore, see, that old vision. You got people trying to restore the Roman Empire. You got people trying to restore, right, the Catholicism, the empire under the popes. The popes ruled. Then you got people trying to resurrect the Prophet Muhammad's empire, and they all fail because they don't understand. Those are gone. We moved forward in time. They was designed. Those scriptures are designed for a certain period of time. Elijah Muhammad told you that those books are revealed. It's revealed for certain periods of time. But they tell, oh no, it's for all time. The Quran's for all time. I mean, really? The Catholicism, the Bible of the Pope, that's for all time. Really? What are they at now? What happened to the scriptures that Abraham had? I mean, he didn't even walk with God? What happened to scriptures? They're there, but you can't recognize them. They still exist, you just don't recognize. You only recognize what they are. And if you look at them, you think it was mythology. See? And now the angel is going to blow away all of it. Because it's not religion, it's the true reality. So, the point I want to make here is that you understand the connection with, you have a thing called a dragon, you have this thing called the Gog and Magog, and you got this thing called Antichrist, or Dajjal, or Satan, right? And these three work together. They're like a trinity. See, so you have the dragon that fuels. It provides the fuel. See, and Gog and Magog, right? They're like the gas station. They pump the gas into the car, to the engine, and then you got, right? And you got false Israel, or the Antichrist, right? They're the engine. They're the engine. See, but they need somebody. They need the gas pumps to get the gas, and the gas pumps need somebody to supply the gas. That's why the three work together. But the bottom line here is that you got to have the engine. Engine has to work. All this stuff doesn't matter. But if you take away the gas, then you can't run. See? So that's why it says Master Muhammad's going to take out all three. He's going to definitely take an engine out. If you take the engine out, the other's going to fail anyway. But he's first going to take the engine out. Because once you take the engine out, right, It's not in drive anymore. It can't drive. See, and that's the master gear. That's what's driving it. It's got the fuel, right? It's got the somebody's supplying the fuel. It's got the gas in the car, right, to pump it in, and then you got the engine that drives off the gas. See, so he's going to take out the engine. When you take out the engine, the car cannot drive anymore. See, that means it's like if you're driving down the road and all of a sudden you run out of gas or your engine fails, then your car is just going to coast until it comes to a stop. That's called momentum. When it's not in drive anymore, has no more power, right? Then it's going to coast off the power that was left. That's what momentum is. It's going to coast until it's come to a stop because there's nothing driving, so it's going to coast until all the wind pressure and everything else will slow it down, gravity, until it finally comes to a halt. That's called momentum. That period of time when the engine is no longer engaged until it stops. That's called a period of momentum, and it's weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. That's called momentum. You have to understand that. See, if you understand it, you understand some of the verses we're going to talk about. Because the thing is that it says, Elijah Muhammad said, he would destroy them at the root. He would discover the root and destroy them at the root. See, and that's the root. See, and Daniel said he would pluck them by the root. Right? Pluck them out by the root to destroy the engine. And it doesn't matter. So therefore, the other things don't make a difference anymore, because what you need gas stations for if you don't have no cars, and what you need to fuel the gas stations for if they ain't got nothing to do with the gas. You see, so they all lose power all online. See, so in other words, what's given, right? What's driving this whole affair? The car. That's the whole thing, is because of the car. If it wasn't for the car, all that stuff wouldn't mean anything. That's what's driving this whole thing. That's what's driving this reality, right? The engine, false Israel is the engine. They're driving this entire reality. They've been driving this since 1948. The reality we live in right now, they're driving all the focus on the so-called Middle East. All these wars and everything, right? Everybody's supporting false Israel. I mean, the whole world is focused on false Israel. See? And now you look on the internet right now. Oh man, they about to go to war with false Israel, and they're gonna win. They're gonna destroy everybody. Jesus will come back. Everything is focused on them because they're the ones driving this reality. False Israel is the one that's driving this reality. See, and they're the ones that give drive. Remember, they drive reality. Let's give drive to Gog and Magog. Because without false Israel, right? I mean, if you knock out the engine, well, the gas in the car ain't gonna do any good. It's just there. The car ain't going anywhere. See? So you need that engine that drives the whole reality, and that's what's driving it. See? And so Master Muhammad's getting ready to take out that engine. This whole reality has nothing to drive it anymore. Because remember, you got two forces against each other. You got the Antichrist and the Christ, and they force against each other. They're both like two cars going 100 miles an hour, right? But neither one go anywhere because they bumper to bumper, focus on bumping against each other, and both of them got to foot on the gas, but they can't go anywhere because this going 100 miles an hour direction, miles an hour that direction. So neither one going anywhere. But if this one goes down to 10 miles. Right? Then now they're going to be moving that away at 10 miles an hour because this is going 10 miles an hour faster than the other one. Even though it's going 100 miles an hour and it's going 90 miles an hour, right? The difference is only 10 miles, so it's going to push this one down the road at 10 miles an hour. That's the way it works. See? But he ain't going to do it grass. It's been happening grass over the last 72 years because Suleiman's getting stronger and stronger and stronger because the universe is in his favor, it's contracting in his favor. So he gets energy, we get energy, right, every 50 years. However, right, Master Muhammad's getting ready to cap it. he's getting ready to take false Israel out. That's what it says. That's abomination of desolation. When he does that, that puts Gog and Magog in a state of momentum. They don't have, see, because right now they're in a state of acceleration, because they got that engine, right? You're in that car, you step on the gas, you're in acceleration. See? But when you have no gas, the engine stops, then you're in a state of, right? See? Then you're in a state of momentum. There's no force behind you anymore. It's just a residual force left, right? From when the car no longer have drive. So now, that's the only thing that's opposing Suleiman, the Christ, is just the momentum. That's all it's opposing him. It's like a car is driving 100 miles an hour, and then the engine goes out. So now it's coasting. So now it's coasting 90, 80, 70, right? And then here you in the middle of the street, and it's down like 10 miles an hour, whatever. Hell, you can almost just stop it. You don't have to get out the way. You can almost just stop it, because it has no. It just has momentum. It has no force. No, that's not force. That's momentum. That's just momentum. See, and it's slowing down, so you can just probably just stop it by yourself. That's what's happening. So once they go into momentum phase, right, and we're still in drive, then we can roll them up. See. Put another way, if they're equal and you go to battle, then 100 would have to defeat 100. It'd be 100 to 100, because the force on both sides is the same, right? But if you're down to where, right? Okay, if you're at in other words, if it's at 100, right? See, but if it's 90, 100, so Antichrist is 90. And the Christ is 110, right? Okay, then if it'll be like every time if it is 1-to-1, two people fighting, then the one person would have 110 units of energy fighting against somebody who only got 90 units of energy. You follow what I'm saying? Because their drive is went down to 90. So that means Suleiman's driving up 110. So in the battle, right, each individual is going to be 110 on the Christ side, and each individual is going to be a 90 on the Antichrist side. So say it goes down to 50. So now the Antichrist is 50, and the Christ 150. So each individual going to go into battle like that, where I got 150 pounds of energy, 150 units of energy, and you got only 50 units of energy. So in other words, I'm 150 pounds and you 50 pounds. Every one of my soldiers is 150 pounds, and one of their soldiers is 50 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? So when they go into momentum, it gets like that. So that's still in both of them drive, but the drive, they have less drive. But when you go into momentum, then it might be like, right, each one of your soldiers is 1,000 units of energy. Each one of those is just 10. That's 100 to 1. So in other words, each one of your soldiers weigh 1,000 pounds. Each one of their soldiers weigh 10 pounds. How's that going to turn out? Yeah, like elephants, right, against dogs. And that's what it's trying to tell you. It says, how can 10, right, defeat 1,000? Because once they go into a momentum mode, right, then we just roll them up, because they have nothing to drive them. Gog and Magog, they're receiving their power from the drive from false Israel, and they receiving, and they have to receive their energy from the dragon, but they get their drive from false Israel. And once false Israel is taken out, they have no drive anymore. There's nothing, so they go into momentum stage. Once they go to momentum stage, they roll them up. Hope you understand that, bro. So I keep trying to say that over and over again to get you to understand what's going on there. Why they say those things they're saying. That's the mathematics behind it. So it's all mathematics. Okay. So when Master Muhammad when that war takes place, they work there at war right now. Both, I've been telling you the war will start in May. I told you that in November. And they're admitting they're at war. It just hasn't reached the boiling point yet. And we expect to reach, well, they say themselves, they expect the boiling point to happen within weeks. So they're saying that themselves. They're saying they're at war, both of them admitting they're at war. Iran and false Israel are committed there, both of them committed they're at war with each other. And both of them admitting that, right, it's going to hit the boiling point within weeks, if not days. And I've been told you, I said last November, I said it'd be a 6 months pause, between 5 and 7 months, which is 6 months, which was May, it happened exactly like I said, and they've been at war ever since. Go ask Mr. Farrakhan what's the story. Ooh. Okay. I said we're war brothers and sisters. See? And it says that Suleiman's first battle, see, Master Muhammad, he's going after the root. He's going to take out the engine. But over here we have a plague. That's Suleiman, his first battle. See, Master Muhammad's first battle, his first manifestation would be taking down false Israel, the dragon, and his angels. But Suleiman, his first victory, first defeat of the enemy, right, would be taking out the demons. Now, here's the story, here's the background. Just some of it. Plenty of colored women have children by white men. Those are demons. That's a biological fact that they're hiding. They lie about everything. I was going to say they lie so much. No. It's their nature. They never tell the truth about anything. See? Plenty of colored women. That's even crazy. Do you get a coloring book? When you get a coloring book, what color are the figures? What are the figures? Are they black or are they white? Are the characters in the coloring book black or are they white? If they're white, then you color them, don't you? So they're the colored people. They're the ones colored. You don't color black. They got everything so backwards, turned upside down, bro. This is the one that they can't destroy us. They cannot destroy the original people. But they sure made a fool out of us, though. They did that. I gotta give that to them. Plenty of colored women have children by white men. That means they're Caucasian. That's a biological fact. You are what your father is. There's nothing that egg can change the seed. You put a seed in the ground. Nothing in that ground can change the nature of that seed. It can affect the quality of the seed, but it cannot change the nature of it. So that means those are Caucasian children, but they don't accept it like that. See, they say, oh no, those are black children, because black is a generic term, but black means they're associated with the original people. If they got black skin, no, they associate the original people, which is a lie, and it's a purposeful lie, because they want to use, they want to infiltrate. Remember, we're at war. They know we're at war, and they want what you want to do is you want to infiltrate the enemy, right? So you confuse them, find out their secrets, find out what they're doing, and everything else. That's what happened. That's the purpose of the demons. That was that purpose on the plantation. We're still on plantation America. There was a purpose in the fields. They was there to do master's bidding, to keep us under control, to monitor us. That's what their whole purpose was, because they was master's children, and they lived in the house. They got all the fringe benefits and everything, all the perks. She knew better than not to do what he say. They take them very same children where they have their own blood and make slaves out of them. See, they admit that's their blood. See, they admit it, they won't come out and just say it. They admit that it's really their children. Make slaves out of them. See, because they want. See, it was two purposes for doing that. See, because the people first, they're beasts, they didn't care. Because some beasts eat their own children, right? But the other thing is that they want them out there because they know their hearts would not be towards the slaves, it'd be towards Massa. So they would come and tell master everything was going on. Plus, as incentive, see, because the more if you out there and the more you tell master what's going on and everything else, then the more likely master will give you more perks and maybe let you work in the house one day. See, so that was all that was built in. See, but another thing is, another side effect of this is Elijah Muhammad. That's why you got to pay attention to those lessons. Elijah Muhammad told us that when they was forced into Europe, after their creation, they was forced into Europe, right, for 2,000 years, right? It says they desperately tried to reverse engineer themselves back to being original again, but they had no material. They had no material to work with. So as a result of, they produced apes. They produce apes. See, that's some kind of allusion to Mongolians, but I'm not getting to that. I've never got to that side of it. But anyway, they produce apes because they had no material, because there was no original in them. See, because we were told there was two separate eggs, an analytical egg and a spatial egg. So they was made out of, the analytical has no spatial qualities in it. So therefore you can't put quality that's not in there. So it was unsuccessful. See? So part of the reason brings over here, because they knew they only had 6,000 years. See, when they told them against, hey man, you're gonna rule 6,000 years, you say, man, that's awesome. Because somebody tell you right now, man, you're gonna live for 6,000 years. That seems like a lot. 6,000 years, man. But when you get to about 590 years, man, we got 10 years left, man. That don't seem like too much. 5,990 years, right? You say, oh, am I saying that right? 5,990 years, right? You say, I only got 10 years left. Don't seem like anything now, man. You mean our time went by that fast? They know the history. They knew it. 2020 meant 1619 to 2019, 400 years. 2020 be a plague that would kill the firstborn elderly. They know what time it is. But the point is, they knew they only had a short time left. The angel tells you that. See? So this was another one of their vain experience to reverse engineer themselves to survive the destruction. They seem to get past that 6,000 year block, that 6,000 year wall. So they start using now they got material, us. See, they try to re-engineer themselves again, back to be original. But the only thing they produce is demons. That's all they can produce is demons. Because there was two different seeds. If we all came from one seed, then it is possible to do that. But it's two different seeds. And so they can't change the nature of an analytical to spatial. They can't change it. They can't change the apple seed to orange seed. See, they keep mixing, trying to make it taste something like apple or whatever, but still going to be orange. Still going to apple. So that's what happened. So therefore, they produce something that looks black, can walk black, talk black, but it's still them. And the only hope they got is that it's black enough to escape detection and get into the hereafter. And that's how they would get in. But their nature, so they get in, they come in under disguise, but their nature will still be in them. And eventually we'll be right back where we are right now, just have a black face on it. Just be a black face America. Because this is their nature. What you see here, this is an extension of their nature. And they would just do it over again if you gave them a chance. That's why it says when they take it down, they'll be taken down totally. Never rise again. So that's a little insight into that lesson. Okay, but I'm gonna say something before I go into this. The wisdom is, how do you invest your energy? I keep saying over and over again, right? That we get the same amount of energy, always has the same amount of energy. It's how you invest it that's important. That's up to you. Right? You can have $1 million shit farm, or you can have $1 million gold mine. Both of them worth $1 million. The difference is you, your nature, what you're able to do with your energy. See? So the thing is that energy deprivation was officially over in 1948. But now we're in a state of self-imposed energy deprivation where they're trying to get us to take and abuse our energy through ignorance. Our people are lost for lack of knowledge. See? So we have us invested in their energy, so-called American dream and everything else. And so we don't invest in ourselves. That's one thing why the Savior Master Muhammad came, how to live. Because we was neglecting ourselves for the so-called American dream. And then we could understand why you end up with hypertension, diabetes, and all other such ailments, bipolarism and all that stuff they done come up with. You look at these commercials, it says anybody in America is, healthy. I mean, when they come to, I got ABC, I got DFG, I got XYZ, I got M and NNM and KXG. I said, damn, I says, because they don't make those drugs unless they have millions of people that need them because they want to make a profit. So I says, anybody in this country is healthy? I mean, all these damn drugs, you commercial, every other commercial, I got ABC, I got FGY, I got XYZ. I mean, that's damn. And black folks say all the underlying conditions because they are misusing energy, not investing in themselves. Because they've been told, man, no, don't eat 3 meals a day, eat chili, whatever, just go out and get that BMW. Get that BMW. If you can't get that Lamborghini, go get that mortgage, get $10,000, get a $100,000, $1 million mortgage. You see? That's what they told. So they go after it. They don't understand your health is your wealth. I guarantee you, take one of these billionaires out there. He's 80 years old, he's a billionaire. He's got everything. And here you are, 21 years old, but you're healthy. I guarantee he will give you everything you have if you give him your wealth, if you give him your health. If you can give him your health, he will give you all his wealth. Because your wealth is your health. And they deceive you to make you think that otherwise with money. Because money is a deception, it's an illusion that they came up to make you think that they control energy. The Bible tells you, the scriptures tell you that you're not live by bread alone, but each word that comes out of the mouth of God, talking about energy that comes from the universe contracting, that's what it's talking about. That's where energy comes from. It doesn't come from money. But they say it's come from money, so that's where you focus on the money, and you go after the money, and then you destroy your health, you destroy yourself, you destroy your soul, because that's your soul is your body. Your soul is not some independent thing. Read it carefully. Read scripture carefully. Your soul is your body. See? It says we do not suffer, we do not struggle with like fire kind of, oh man, we sinful and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we are sinful. We're not sinful by nature. We're sinful because we're not vesting in our own selves. But that's because the statement I'm about to make. It says we do not struggle with health. We do not struggle with flesh and blood, but struggle with evil men, high places, evil spirits. Right? See, diverting our energy, teaching us wrong path. See, making us think other than the truth, like I'm telling you right now. You need to invest in yourself 100%. Because it says, right? It tells you, what does it tell you? It says, seek the kingdom of God first. And all these things will be added to you. But then another statement says, where's the kingdom of God? It says, it's in you. That means invest in yourself 100%. And all those things will come up, this come about. But what good is if you sick and you got $1 billion, you're sick and you got cancer and you can't do anything, you're in a wheelchair or something. What good is it then? Oh, you got 6 months to live, but now you got all this. You'd rather be 21 years old in good health and with nothing, probably homeless. You'd rather be homeless. You'd rather be homeless at 20 years old in good health, right, than be a billionaire laying on your deathbed with cancer and everything else. But you got $1 billion. You got an airplane. You got a Lamborghini. You understand that, brothers and sisters? That's the wisdom. The 5 fundamental principles of Islam. And in accordance with that, right, is also your other half. Brothers and sisters, I've been telling you, and as Quran tell yourself, in the beginning there was just one being, right? And we split into 2 parts, a male and a female gender. So that 2 beings became, that one being became 2, but both, that's 2 sides of its nature. That's just 2 sides of its nature, the original being. So when you look at the female, that's the other side of your nature. You look at the male, females, that's the other side of your nature. You're one being, as Jesus said, right? What he says? He says, when you find come together, right? Then you be considered one flesh. Because brothers and sisters is your other side of your nature. And if you abuse your nature, that's what sin is. Sin is when you go against your own nature. The devils, when they're making human shed blood, they're not sinning, because that's their nature. A pig is not sinning when he's filthy and rolling around in slop, because that's his nature. What do you expect him to do? If he walking around clean with tuxedo on, what's wrong with that pig? Something wrong with him. Because that ain't his nature. See? So when you go against your nature, that's sin. And when you harm the female, that's you harm your own nature. That means that's a sin. And the same go for the females. That brother is your other side of your nature. And that sister, she's the other side of your nature, brothers. So you don't like it, then leave it alone. Just walk away from him. Leave him alone. Don't bother him no more. See how that works. Same thing, your sisters. That's the other side of your nature. Another sister is not the other side of your nature. And brothers, so that's a whole nother issue right there. That's confusion built in by KV, by his force and incest and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to all that. But the point is that the other side of your nature, they're 180 degrees of your nature. And you embrace them, and you invest in them. Go and you invest in them, you invest in your nature. You invest in yourself. So I just want to say that. That's the wisdom. 5 fundamental principles of Islam. Invest in your nature. That's the wisdom. And all those things that said be added to you, and they will. You think, oh man, no, you ain't gonna miss out on a damn thing. Because you're gonna have your wealth, you're gonna have your health, and all those things. See, the other people, they don't have all those things, they don't have their health. Bitter pill. I got, oh man, I got me a Lamborghini, but I'm in a wheelchair, man. I got me a jet, man, but I got 6 months to live. That's the wisdom, brother and sister. Invest in yourself. And that means invest in your mate, your spouse, too, because that's the other half of yourself. You got to understand that. You might not realize that right now. That's not Yaqub's teaching, because he wasn't supposed to teach that way. But that is the reality. They are the other half of our creation, the other half of our nature. We're only 180 degrees of our nature. When we come together, we like we were in the beginning. One being is just in two bodies right now. Hope you understand that, brother and sister. Okay, so let's talk about this. Now we're going to talk about these demons. Demon, it's a big hint right there. Half devil, half man. That's what demon is. See, when the devil side is on the father's side, right? So we see Elijah. We hear a story about the tare and the wheat, and it said the enemy sowed, right, his seed amongst the wheat. That was 40 years of rape of our women. But they was told when it was discovered, right? The servant was told, no. don't you try to separate them, because you don't have the wisdom to do it, because you might hurt the weak. You don't have the wisdom to do it. You let them go together. So Elijah Muhammad said, don't try to separate them out. He knew about them, but he said, don't, because you don't have the wisdom to do it, because you might hurt the weak. He said, no, Suleiman will take care of it, because he had the wisdom to do it. He's this messenger of the covenant, going to come and clean us up. He's Joshua that comes and get rid of all the Aaron's, slaughters all Aaron's people, because he can identify them. And that's the battle here in the east, in the west. See, Master Rama's taking out the dragon. See? And Gog and Magog and false Israel, he's taking them out in the west, the east. See? But Suleiman's taking out the demons that's plaguing our people, because there's half of the blacks in America are demons. They're the ones you see in the news media. They're the ones in Master's house. They're the ones you see in sports figures. All the attention, because those are the ones, and they look like us, and the whole world sees them, and they think that's us. Because they present our image to the world, because they are our image. They're just an image of us. They ain't us, they're an image of us. And that's the image the world sees. So they think, oh, America's great, man, look at them. Look at how they treat their Negroes over there, man, they good. That's not us. You won't see our voice ever getting heard. You won't see a voice like this ever getting on TV, on Hollywood, any place else. You won't get if it does, they make it look ridiculous. Like, oh man, that's the stupid stuff. See, that's the real voice for our people. That's the one they hiding from our people. And they're using the demons to block this light. And so our people walk around the dark shadows that they're casting, blocking this light. And Master and Louis Farrakhan, Louis Eugene Grounds, NY Backwards Legion, he's the main demon. See, because it follows the devil. So that's the situation. So we're looking at the angel key here. That's what it's talking about right there. See Elijah, right? So he's ministering. They say, oh, when they had devils in there, I know. Well, he said was told to minister to both. Let them go together. Let them go together. See, because you don't have the wisdom. Because you might hurt the weak. That's what it says. No, if you do it, you might hurt the weak. So just let them go together. There's Legion. See? Now it says in there, right? See? In his NOI, he's got mixed up. He already said he wants to bring devils in. Why would he want to do that? That's not what the lessons say. See? So it says that those who are faithful to Elijah Muhammad's teachings, because they haven't heard Suleiman's teachings. But once they hear Suleiman's teachings, they said they come and bow to him. They heard it, they accepted it. See? But Legion didn't. He said, nah, what you mess with us for? He resists. But he doesn't resist very long, because he knows the game is up. Because Suleiman is coming to kick ass. He ain't coming to kick ass. He coming to kick ass, take names. He ain't coming to shake hands or parley or whatever. So right away he started pleading, please don't make me lead the country. Please don't make me lead the country. See, because Suleiman come to kick his ass out. And this was going to happen. See, because while Master Muhammad's taking down false Israel, the driving force over in the east, simultaneously Suleiman's be taking down the demons here in the west. See, that's just talking about. So because that's what it says in Exodus, they came. See, because Moses says those those with the Lord. He didn't say those with him, those with the Lord. That means those with Suleiman, because now they heard Suleiman's teaching, come with him. And those with Aaron, they stayed, and then they had all of those went Suleiman. They wiped out all of Aaron's people. That's the harvest. Just killed them all, family, everything, got rid of all of them, because they're all demons. So he said, and he exposed, what's your name? Oh, my name is Louis Eugene Grounds, NY Backwards. That's no coincidence. They can try to clean up that. Oh, and his name is Louis Eugene Walcott. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm not going to even argue with that one. See, they can go and try to switch stuff around if they want to. It's Louis, even if it was that one letter, they better do better than that. Anyway, my name is Luigi, so he's supposed, and he's begging, please, let me stay here with my devil daddies. What does Quran call them? They call them swine. So that's what he says. He wants to stay with the swine, stay with swine daddy, right? Apes and swine, that's what they call them, right? He says, no, I want to stay with my swine daddies. Don't make me leave the country. See? That's the battle. That's the first battle Suleiman takes on. The demons. And that's about to happen in a few days. It's happening now, really. See? Because they have an eternal struggle in there right now. And then you have this right here. The demons again, because it says that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and seed of beast. Remember, devil, half man. The beasts are the devils. It says that will happen. That's the demons. See? And it's that beast. Because you have to understand how things work. What they call a species. A species is determined by whether the seed and the egg can the seed act. If the seed can fertilize the egg of that particular creature, then they call the same species. See? So therefore, since our seed can fertilize one of Cavy's eggs, then they part of our species. They may be a weak part, but they're part of our species. Part of our species. See? And their egg, their sperm can fertilize the egg of one of our women. They're caught in the same species, but they're the beasts. They're the beasts. Because you could not mix them if one. That's what it's telling you. One of them is beast. Some of them are beasts. They're in the same species, but part of the species are beasts and part of them are men. That's what it's telling you right there. Because it says, the house I will sow the seed. It wouldn't be possible if they were different species. So it's telling you, some of the people that call human are not human, they're beast. Even though they're in the same species. That's why I call them man and mankind. Yeah, I understand the science there. So it's telling you that some people, that mean all of us, we're all the same. No, it's telling you some of them are beast. Some are beast. And so how do you know? Or what do they say? If it looks like a dog, walk like a dog, talk like a dog, quack like a dog, it must be a dog. Okay, how's your experience been over here for the last 20 years? Has it been experience of angels or experience of devils? Has it been experience of swines or beasts? What's been experienced here? Just ask yourself, what's been experienced here? And then you know what you're dealing with. Were you dealing with angels or you dealing with devils? Were you comforted, helped, loved, respected? Or was you demeaned and cursed and spit on and raped and murdered and was put in contempt? So what was it? Was the nature of devils or nature of angels? But they claimed the angels. They said Satan had the power to appear as an angel of light, but his nature still says known by their works. So if you fool because you want to be fooled, and they said, well, they can change. No, the Bible says, can a tiger change its stripes? Where it says they're evil and they're wicked, and says not one are righteous. Farrakhan said, well, that means all of us. No, it don't mean all of us at all. Because Master Muhammad said we're righteous people. We're the only Muslims on the planet. The definition of Muslim means those who submit entirely to the will of Allah. Who submitted? The angels did. Who submitted? They submitted to Adam. Who's Adam? Adam is America. We submitted. No one else submitted. Who refused to submit? The Arab Sunnis, right? That means they're the jinn. They refused. See, the angel puts everything in perspective, brothers and sisters. It is the gospel. It's not a gospel. It's the gospel because it was for the worst time in history, the unprecedented trouble. That's why it's the gospel. It's the most powerful gospel ever written and will ever be written because it was time for unprecedented trouble for the worst time possible. Here we go again. Plenty of colored women have children by white men. She know better than not to do what he say. They take them very same children that will have their own blood and make slaves of them. See? So here, this is the parable of the wheat and the chaff. It's right there. That's the parable. See? So they sowed, right? And they sowed their chaff, their seed amongst the wheat. So the enemy, it didn't say a friend did it, an enemy did it. The beast did it. See, the same thing as we were talking about before, about they're going to sow the beast, and so it means that's the beast that did it. The enemy are the beast. Well, Farrakhan refused to say they're devils anymore. The devils ain't devils anymore. Yeah, Elijah Muhammad gave some secret bullshit, because I was there when Elijah Muhammad said clearly, and I'm going to dig it up when I have time. He said clearly in Theology of Time, in one of his last speeches, I was there within 10 feet of him. He says, I never gave any minister any special teaching. He said it very clearly. He said, so we know, if you pay attention, he was leaving. Why would he be giving information like that if he wasn't about to leave? He says, I never gave any minister any special teachings. But Farrakhan claimed that he was told, especially all by himself, even though Elijah Muhammad said he was going to be he's made a hypocrite, that, well, they're not devils anymore. Years after, he had been still calling them devils. Then he got epiphany one morning. Oh, man, I remember 20 years ago, 10 years ago, he told me don't call them devils no more. He's a devil himself. He's a demon. And when you understand that, you understand where it's coming from. Well, the man robbed God. He says he's robbing God. That's what it says in Malachi. He's the one between the messenger of the covenant and the messenger. He's robbing God because he takes all that energy, right? And he's helping the master divert the energy, because all the energy that was used to build a nation, to unify a nation, he was taking the energy and divert it to himself. So he got wealthy, while people got poor and poor and poor, because we're rich people. It tells you that we're the gold and the silver. But the reason why we don't have anything, because we taken and self-imposed energy deprivation, because we're misusing our energy. We're going after this American dream. We're building their energy. We're building their vision, and not building our vision. And we got Louis Farrakhan, right? He's the main ones. That's his job, to make sure we don't use that energy for our purpose of ourselves. When you give the Scientology, we give it as soon as you give everybody else. Okay. And him. And this gets back to what I was talking about earlier. Verse 8, 5 of you will chase 100, 100 will chase 10,000. Your enemies will fall before you by the sword. That's what will happen when false Israel is taken out. Because there'd be no momentum then. That's the only thing opposed is just the momentum, and the momentum is diminishing very fast. Because if you're going 100 miles an hour and your energy turns out, suddenly shuts down, you're going to coast. How long are you going to coast? A block, half a mile, quarter of a mile? You don't coast very long. Or you got momentum. But once you know that, and you know, right, and you know you ain't got too much longer to be moving, and you know your car going to totally stop in about a couple of minutes, then you only got a couple of minutes to act or whatever you're trying to do. And that's during that momentum phase when they're going to try to take us out. Because once they know false Israel going, they know they have no drive. And they got to do, because they know pretty soon they're going to have no power at all. And so they got the power. And the only thing that they says, we got that opposing force. We got that Suleiman over there. And the whole reason my engine was shut down, right, is because of them. See, because now our God's on the scene, and they know all this has been done, because they know about 1619 and 2019. They know about the Passover. They know who we are, because at that point it'd be clear that we are true to Abraham, and that they're being punished by God for our sake. They're being punished, destroyed by God for our sake. And now they run out of energy. They know they only got a few more yards or whatever, momentum, before they have no power at all to complete stop. They're going to use that momentum to get rid of us. That's the only move they got left. When you play chess, that's the only move you got left. Because if they can do that, then maybe they can stick around. But if they can't, once they get stopped, they can't have no power anymore. They can't do anything. So they still got power. It's diminishing, but they got that short period of time. They got to eradicate us quickly. You got to eradicate us quickly. That's what I keep telling you. That's why it says, when you see abomination, desolation, run. Because in the momentum stage, they know they got. That's why it said, what it says is, they'll read Revelation. It says, he is full of rage because he knows he has but a short time left. He's full of rage because he knows he has but a short time left. He's in the momentum stage and he knows he's about to run out of power. So therefore, He's going to take it, is rage on us to try to destroy us. There's only hope of surviving. I'm trying to put all this together for you, brothers and sisters. Because if you still hanging around here, if you haven't fled when false Israel goes down, you just devil shit. That's all you are. Because they're going to eat your ass. They don't have no food anyway. They already, even right now, they have food shortages and everything. Have you paid attention? And they ain't even got to the war yet. Not full phase. And China's already telling them that China's telling them, we're going to war with you. China's telling them, you've been paying attention to, we're going to war. China said, we ain't worried about it. We're going to war with you. We're going to take Taiwan. I won't give a damn what you say. If you don't like it, we're going to tear your ass up. I've been telling you this for 30 years. Now you see it all coming in focus. Was Farrakhan telling you about this? No. Oh, well, there's going to be a war. See, and they will tell you that. I've been being very specific. Very specific. Names, times, sequences. I told you the war in the Middle East will happen. China's not, they're not going to get the war with Taiwan before that. As soon as they go into war over there, then as soon as they kicked out of the Middle East, that's when they're going to go to war with China. Immediately. All my videos out there prove what I've been saying. So that momentum, once they're taken out, they have no drive anymore. That short period of time before they come to the street hall, they got to take you out. Because you're going to be visible. They're going to know exactly who you are, right? And because if they don't, they know what you're going to do to them. Because what the scripture says, as you have done, shall be done to you. They're going to be they're going to be inflamed with rage. Yeah. He's full of rage because he's got a short time left. What would you be doing? Full of rage because you got a short time left. What do you think that means? That don't mean just the army. That means all of them. Your next door neighbor, your cave next door neighbor, once they take forces, they're going to know what that means. They're going to see the whole country falling apart, see it falling apart. They're enraged right now about critical age theory and everything else. And the whole Democratic Party got blackface. They got raged right now. They already near the boiling point right now. That was 112 degrees right now. What do you think happened when false Israel go down? They angry right now. They angry at Biden. And that means angry at you because you the one put Biden in there. If it wasn't for black folks, he would never got there. They booing him everywhere going all over the country. They're angry right now. And they've even taken out false. Which things will happen when they take false Israel down? When the war starts, they're going to be more angry. When they false Israel go into siege, they're going, oh man, they're going to turn blood red. They're going to be lit on fire. They're going to take false Israel down. These people are going to be beside themselves. And here you sitting around here in the neighborhood, and they realize that their country, America, is in trouble and going down. And it's all because of you. They know what they've done to you, and God's coming, and you got Suleiman over there telling them, right? Because he's going to be, remember, this gospel will be teaching all the world, then he will come. So he's over there, he's taking over NOI. He's got a world voice, because that's going to be national news, right? That y'all are devils, and y'all, God's after you. He's going to make it very clear to them. So what the hell do you think they're going to do? Then that momentum stage. Short stay period, right? Because once it runs out, right? They got China knock on their door. They getting their ass kicked over and over there. Right? And you're about to escape out the country. And they're alone. No more wealth. No more power. And all the enemies circling around them, moving in on them. Right? And they ain't got no food. And eating their own children. Do you ever understand that children gray-headed because they can't stay with their parents? Because they're eating them. They can't go out on the street because they're eating each other. They don't know what to do. They can't, there ain't no food for them. Obviously, they're going to go gray-headed. I'm trying to get you accept processes. And mostly it's just the beacons. So the beacons, I mean, they know they shouldn't know they have to worry about anything. But they need to understand this so they know what they're dealing with. Because that people going to come running. Those that get out the way in time. See? Here again. See? You can read this verse yourself. One of your men puts to flight 1,000, and Lord your God is he who fights for you, just he promised you. That's what it says. Because Master promised, he's fighting for you. He's your God. He says you're the apple of his eye. You think if you was worthless, he'd waste time coming for you? He'd come for you because you his treasure that they stole from him. You his treasure. You're the gold and silver they talking about in there. It's not metal they talking about. You're the gold and silver. You're the gold and silver. You see? And he's fighting for you. And he just took down. See, that's why it associates him with this. Because once he takes down false Israel, now you're going to have the power to put one man. That's how much power you're going to have. Because that drive is totally gone. So one of you, just one of you, would chase 1,000. Your power would be 1,000 times greater than each one of them. Each man would be 1,000 times more powerful than one of their men. It's like 1,000-pound man going against a 1-pound man. Because they have no driving force anymore. Master from House took it out because he's fighting for you. That's why you better love your Lord your God, because he made all this possible. If he had not come here, right, when he came in the 30s and the 20s, right, we'd all be dead right now. He came in and set Elijah Muhammad to put the whole thing in neutral. We was going in reverse 100 miles an hour to our destruction. We was running in reverse, and Elijah Muhammad put it in neutral. See? Set it up for Suleiman to come to put it in drive. But while it was in neutral, you had Farrakhan working hard to try to put it back into reverse. Oh, we're going to bring those in. Why? They ain't those no more. We're going to save America. We're going to pray for America. We're going to fight for America. Right? He was trying to desperately put you back in reverse. And some of you did get back in reverse. See? And so then the wise going to be punished because that was their job, right? To keep this thing in neutral until Suleiman came into and drive. But they would let themselves deceived by the son of perdition, because he said he would make war with the saints and overcome them. And they said, how in the hell you do after Elijah Muhammad? But he was able to do it. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. See? We're at war. You understand that? Then it says, enemies crushed. This asks this question: how should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight? 2 men put 10,000 to flight, except their rock has sold them and the Lord has shut them up. What does that mean? Because it tells you, the next sentence tells you, and their rock is not as our rock. Right? That means the Antichrist is one rock and Suleiman is one rock. It says their rock failed them. Their rock failed them because Master Muhammad took their rock out. So now they have no drive force. That's what it's telling you. So now one can chase 1,000 because their rock has no driving force anymore. It's taken out. It's crushed. That's what it's talking about, brothers and sisters. That I tell you at the bottom here says, in verse 34, is not this laid up in store with me and sealed up among my treasures? It's talking about what's sealed up? Angel, and with a treasure. So it mentions the dragon and everything. I'm not going into all that, brothers and sisters. See, but it's talking about their wines and wine of Sodom and Gomorrah. Those who used to know the angel know Sodom and Gomorrah represents Gog and Magog. So now they're crushed when false Israel goes. Now because they have no driving force, they have no momentum. And as soon as their momentum is spent, there's no opposition whatsoever. We just roll them up. See, you got the momentum phase where they do their last grab. See, right now they're in the process of destroying us right now. See? They're telling you, right now, they're in the process of destroying us. So you have to ask, what's the method? You have to know the method. You know they're doing. So whatever they're doing is the purpose of destroying us. So whatever's going on right now, the purpose is to destroy you. So if you want to go out and get the details, and look for the details. See? But somebody throw you into the lion's den, you need to know the details what lion is going to get you. They throw you in there because they're going to lions will eat your ass. Then the only thing you need to be knowing thinking about is getting the hell out of there. Not figure what lion is going to get me or how they're going to get me or if they tired or weak or whatever. You need to be getting your ass out of there. So right now, whatever they're doing, the purpose of it is to get rid of you. Either long term or short term, that's the purpose, to get rid of you. Okay. This is what the Quran says about it. And thou will see the guilty on that they linked together in chains. See? Because it says they're going to be nuts. We're going to put them on chains. We're going to roll them up in chains and throw them into hell. See? That's those that escape. Right? The goat, China, India, when they attack. Because it says they're going to destroy America. They're going to take and siege all the cities. There's going to be no food allowed in or out. It says it's going to be so desperate that people are eating themselves. They're eating their children, right? So a woman that's pregnant, if she can give birth, right, she's going to be quiet. She's going to deliver that baby in silence and all that pain. She's going to keep silent because it says it, because she's going to want to. She's going to want to eat her baby and after birth in secret, and she's going to be eating it. They say boil, but they can't be meaning. They can't possibly be meaning literally boil, because if she's boiled, everybody's going to know it. Everybody's hungry. See, so she'll eat them raw, but she don't want anybody to know it. That's how bad it's going to be. And children, like I said, children going to be. They ain't going to be scared. They're going to stay scared, stay home with their parents because they're going to be eaten. They can't go out in the streets. There ain't going to be no gangs because they're eating each other. That's what it said. China and they're going to lay siege all the cities. See? And people are going to starve to death. And they're going to come in and just wipe them out. They're going to have no pity on the children, the babies, and virgin, nobody else. They're going to wipe everything. Only thing is, anybody's healthy and strong enough, they're going to take them into external slavery enough coming out of it. And they're going to take and just destroy, burn this country down, where nobody will live on this country. That means they must go nuke it for thousands of years. Nobody said, the only thing will live here will be owls. In America, it'll be totally destroyed. That says the day when Earth will come, be burned as an oven. They're going to totally destroy it. So if you hide in your bunkers and everything, it's not going to work, because they're going to blow the whole place apart. There'll be nothing left. That's the fate of America. See, when they talking about Damascus, they're talking about Damascus over there. When they talking about Persia, they ain't talking about Iran. When down here talking about Persia, they talking about America. See? When they talking about Damascus, they talking about America, it's going to be a burning heap. The Bible is sealed, brothers and sisters. I mean, how many times I got to tell you that? Okay, so let's wrap this up. Now, maker, owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe, that's us. We're the only one that can carry the earth on our back. God and Maker tried. They tried, but they couldn't. Because we came with the earth. It took the full compression of the universe, right? See, we had to deal with that. Our brain is equal to that. See, force, remember our pressure. And in order to stop the universe from compressing, you have to have a counter force, which was our thought. So we had to be able to have enough thought to construct a situation that would stop the universe from contracting. Oh, I know, it's not, oh man, whatever. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're talking Big Bang, they don't understand the Big Bang. See? So that means our thought was powerful enough to stop the universe from contracting. That's how powerful our thought process is. Caves has not even close. So we can lift the planet. See? We control the universe because our thought power pressure is equal to the total pressure contracted universe. That means, that's why we say God of the universe. They was made in haste in that 6,000 year, right, transition period between expansion and contraction. So their minds were weak, and so they was made in that tension. Tension is the opposite of pressure. So they was creating tension, and that tension only lasts for 6,000 years. And now we're back to the pressure stage, which their brains cannot handle, their minds cannot handle, because that pressure is greater than the pressure of their minds. So their minds are collapsing. They're getting reprobate. I mean, they're thinking against themselves. Why are they thinking against themselves? They say stuff that's totally insane now. Men can get pregnant, right? And if you feel like a woman, you can be a woman, and they can have men that compete with women in sports. And they say things totally, it makes them say, what the hell are they talking about? because it makes sense to them, because their mind is working. That's like they had our minds against ourselves for 464 years. But now our minds coming back, and soon minds restoring our minds back. But when you look out there in the creation right there, you're looking at your mind, bro, sis, because your mind's the one that produce all of that. And then your mind's coming back to that. That's Suleiman's job, to make you have thorough knowledge of yourself, to put your God mind back again. Because once you get your mind back again, nobody can stand against you. That's what it says. You're going to wipe out everything. And it's not going to be no 7-day tribulation, because once false Israel taking them out, like I said, all we do is momentum. And that momentum is not going to last that long. And once that, we just roll everything up. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. But again, right? Invest in yourself. And yourself is not just you, but if you're a male, your other self. But you're only 180 degrees of yourself. 180 degrees is the female. And same thing for the female. The male is your the other half of your nature. You're one being. You're complete when you're two together. If you're by yourself, you're not complete. You're only half. See? You better get used to that. You'll understand it better in a few more days when we get back home. See? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Is there anything else I need to cover here? I think that pretty much covers it. We're going home, brothers and sisters. Mission of the covenant. And here, brothers and sisters, if anything makes sense to you, contact information, contact one of our messengers of covenants, right? And we'll teach you the angel. We'll teach you the 5 fundamental principles of Islam. We'll teach you the science of pressure. And we're not asking you for anything. See? Because we know where real energy comes from. It comes from God. When you understand who God is. Contracting universe. See? The mouth of God, as the Bible says. It doesn't come from their dollar bills. That's they have Farrakhan and Silas and Royal and all them folks. It doesn't come from that. That's an illusion that they're tricking you with. So we're not asking for anything. Because we have everything we need. And we're going to have a lot more. But we asking you, right, do you want to help rescue your people? Do you want to do that? Because those with me in the Lamb's Book of Life, on Mission of the Covenant, they don't need to be doing this. They already earned their ticket. They already they already seated on the train, and they got their ticket. So they can sit. They don't have to do anything. They already paid the price. Nobody told them they had to do any of this. This is my mission. But they say they want to help them. They love their brothers and sisters. They say, okay, I'm gonna get off this train and see if I can rescue some more of my brothers that's on this train, because they love you. That's why they're doing it. They ain't doing it because they're afraid or somebody intimidating them. They already told. I'm telling them right now. They already know. You don't have to do anything because they already earned it. You don't have to do anything. They already got the ticket. If they were this, if they're not against this, if they were the angel, their name's already in the Lamb's Book of Life. So they ain't got nothing to worry about. All they got to do is wait for the duck to pull off of the train, and they're out of here. They won't hear the faintest sound of raging roars of hell. They don't have to do anything, but they're doing it because they love you. They getting off the train so they can see can I get any more of my brothers and sisters on this train? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.